Hello everyone, this is Praveen Kumar and welcome to the Hellers Classes channel. In the previous video, I explained you about the fresh concrete, that how it is existed and their properties and what are the different types of tests to be conducted to measure workability concrete, and as well as what are the different kinds of problems, and everything has been discussed in the previous video. And in this video I'm going to continue with how to make a fresh concrete and what are the different methods are to be followed, as well as what are the problems or generally we are facing for the fresh concrete, and those things will be continued in this video. And I'm going to start with the fresh concrete properties, which will make the concrete is to be one of the better one, which is segregation is also one of the problem which may face in general things. Segregation is nothing but separation, which means whatever the materials are there in our concrete like aggregate, cement, sand, mortar, water, and everything will be separated because of few problems in concrete making. And because of that we may generally face few problems. So in this video continued about the segregation. So this is about the segregation. So next one is bleeding, which means the flowable or liquid type of materials are only to be bleeded, like blood bleeding likewise. So in our concrete the bleedable thing is nothing but water. The excess amount of water will be come out from the concrete and it is formed like a thin layer. That layer we generally call it as latents, and how we are facing that problem of bleeding will be continued in this video, so please watch it. So this is about the bleeding part, that how we are facing that problems in fresh concrete. So now process of manufacture of concrete. So in our manufacture of concrete or a fresh concrete, there are a few steps are to be included from the getting the materials onwards, how we are going to finish that particular concrete that we are making on site. The first one is batching, second one mixing, transporting, placing. So compacting is one thing, curing as well as finishing. So these are the different kinds of procedures are to be followed while we are making the concrete. In this way I'm kind of proceeding with batching. Batching means how we are selecting the proportion of what we are getting from the mix designer, which means how much amount of cement, sand, aggregate and water is to be added. So this is nothing but batching, and this batching may be find out or to be calculated using measurement of volume or measurement of its weight. So in these two methods we may get. So I'm proceeding with the volume batching. Actually it is not the right method to be followed. So here everything is to be measured with respect to its volume by taking a container or a kind of a box type of container. We are going to measure the volume, that in terms of volume only we are adding that particular cement, sand and aggregates, that what we are getting from the mix designer. So only with respect to volume we won't get the exact type of kind of things or exact strength that what we are measuring in laboratories. So that's why we won't allow to measure that cement and sand aggregates with respect to its volume, because the volume of cement, aggregates and everything will be differ because of the porous nature or something else. So next one, weight batching. With respect to the weight of the materials, we are following that mixing, that what we are getting from the mix designer, either it may be the ratio between the cement, sand and aggregates as well as water. So this is how we are mixing with respect to weight batching. This is actually the best process to continue and to get proper proportion from the mix designing. The particle type to be used depends upon the nature of the job. In general, large weight batching plants have automatically weighting equipment. The use of this automatic equipment for batching is one sophistical and required qualified and experienced engineers. For huge amount of mixes, we are using ready mix plants nowadays. So for that, wave batching is the better one to mix a concrete in a better way. So next process is mixing. So after getting the batching, we need to mix the concrete. So there are generally so many methods are there to mix the concrete. In general, we have only two kinds. That is, either it may be a hand mixture or it is to be a machine mixing. So first one is hand mixing. So hand mixing means only by using technical labors we are getting that weight or volume batching. Based upon that batching, so masons are using the labor, we are going to mix the concrete in a proper way. But for huge concrete making, it is not a good one for the proceedings. The better one is hand mixing, not a good one. The better one is only machine mixing. So using machinery we can able to mix a better way of concreting materials. Either it may be using a miller type of material or using ready mix plant machinery. We can use so many things that we can. There are some few sizes and types of machine mixings are there. Tilting one, so it will be like a tilted type of thing that we can mix 85 ton, 100 ton, 140 or 200 ton. And non-tilting type of mixtures are also there. We can mix up to 1000 nt also. So we can mix that particular thing. So there is a third category is also there, reversing kind of thing that we can measure with 200, 280 or 375. These are the general models, or we notify that particular kind of materials. So in this graph we can get a basic idea about the time of mixing. So if we mix a better way, or if we mix for large amount of time, so we may get a basic thing about the compressive strength. Compressive strength is also differently varied with respect to the time of mixing. If we mix in a better way, we may get a good strength or a good probable concrete. Next one is the transporting. Not only by mixing and batching the concrete, even the transportation is also one of the problem to get from the mixed place to the position where we are placing that concrete. Either we can use by motor pans, or we can use wheelbarrows. Motor pan means by mixing in a hand mixture, so we can transport that through a trolley type of kind of things. Or we can use wheelbarrows or hard cart. So using the wheelbarrows or hard cart also we can able to transport the mixed concrete portions to the existing one, or through crane or bucket or rope way, or using a lift type of arrangement we can transport from one place to another place. Especially if you are laying a kind of slabs, it is not possible to transport from that so much of heights. Using lift type of arrangement we can transport the things also. Truck mixture and dumpers. So in ready mix plants we generally observe this kind of truck mixtures or dumpers. By using high pressures, so we can transport the materials from one place to another place, or the fresh concrete from original existing place to different places. Next one, belt conveyors. From one place to another place, if we want to transport the mixed concrete, so this is also one of the better way to transport in a belt conveyors for huge mixes only. Next one, chute. So this is also one of the kind of thing that we can transport, but no need of discuss this thing for a large extent. Next one is skip and hoist. So skip method and hoist is also one of the better way to transport a heavy amount of concrete from one place to another place in a better way. So next one, skip and hoist. This is also one of the kind. So right, belt conveyor, chute, skip, hoist. So next one, transit mixture. It is also one of the thing to transport easily from one place to another place of a fresh concrete especially. Next one is using pump and pipelines. So even if you want to transport the heavy amount of fresh concrete which is getting from ready mix plants, to transport it to the different number of floors, it is not possible to lift by using the lift method. Using high pressures and pipelines we can transport that particular freshly prepared concrete from a ground floor to wherever we require to place that particular concrete in a proper way. So using pumps and using pipelines also we can transport a heavy amount of concrete, but it should be in a flowable way, then only we can transport. And the last one is using helicopters, and it is moreover not used for many kind of structures, only for the few or very special cases only we are using that helicopter kind of things that we can transport concrete from one place to another. So these are the different kinds of transporting techniques that we can. Next one is placing. Not only transporting, mixing and getting the batching, and even placing is also most probably one. So placing means in a proper way only we have to place that concrete. Especially if we are making a monolithical casting like beams, slabs and columns and everything, we need to place in a proper way, then only we may get a good kind of concrete only, otherwise it may be deviated. So that's why placing is also one of the basic thing which we need to consider, especially after pouring the concrete into the major components like beams or columns only. Then we have to place the concrete on the slabs. Even if you want to continue the concrete for the next day also, that placing is the most probable thing that we need to maintain. So placing concrete within the earth molds, example foundation concrete for well walls or columns. Major for the primary component which we need to construct for any kind of building is the foundations, which is to be constructed within the soil. So for that there is a kind of concrete that which we need to mix it, otherwise it will be somewhat deviated. So that's why. Next one, placing concrete within the large earth molds or timber plank formwork, for example road slabs and artificial slabs. In general, for the rigid components or rigid type of pavements, if we want to construct a particular slab kind of roads, so for that we need to place the flanks, as well as we need to place some timber kind of framework for the components, and then only we have to place in a proper way. Next one is placing concrete in layers within timber or steel shutters, and this is generally we can observe in making for columns or superstructure, which is columns, slabs, even for the beams which are to be constructed over the surface. So there we can observe. Otherwise, placing concrete within usual formwork like columns, beams and floors, and this also we can observe in a general way, as well as placing concrete underwater. So if you want to construct a bridge or a kind of structure, the foundation should be constructed underwater only, and for that there are different kinds of methods are there to eliminate that water, and even after that we need to fix the shutterings, and then only we can continue. So next one, compaction of concrete. This is also one of the major thing. Either the compaction may be of hand type of compaction or machine type of compaction. While coming to the hand type of compaction, we can use rodding or ramming or tamping. Even if you observe this kind of compaction primarily in the construction of slabs or in the construction of road kind of structures, even for the slab constructions or column constructions also, by getting that vibration through manpower only, we are compacting that particular concrete. Next one is compaction by vibration method. Vibration may be of because by using the machinery like a needle type of vibrator, that is internal vibrator. So there is a machinery which the end is consisting of a needle, and while after placing the concrete in a component, then by placing that vibrating rod on the concrete, so it will be somewhat vibrated, and that vibration should be of a specified manner. It won't be over vibrated, it should be in a controlled way. By using that needle type of vibrator, we can get a proper way of compaction in that particular concrete. So by using that needle kind of structure, so this is generally been very much used in heavy kind of slab thickness of 175 mm or 200 mm likewise. Next one, formwork vibrators and table type of vibrators, platform type of vibrators. So these are also one of the kind of things generally used for the heavy kind of slab thicknesses or beams, especially used for those components. Next one, surface vibrators or screed vibrators. Even for the surface also, to get in a proper way or proper arrangement, there is a special kind of vibrators are also available. Next one, vibratory rollers. Even using roller type of vibrators also, we can compact such kind of components like beams or slabs which we are placing. Or compaction by pressure and jolting. Even using high pressuring technology, or by using a high amount of pressure over the components also, we can compact. Next one, compaction by spinning. So even spinners are also available in the market in general nowadays. So by using spinning technology also, we can compact a maximum amount of content which is to be used for different components of structures like roads or for slabs. Not for slabs. In general, these are being used for maximum of road constructions. Next one, curing, and this is the most probable thing which we need to consider even after compacting the concrete also. Hydration method is not a process for 1 day or 2 days. It is to be for a longer period. If we are not unable to cure the concrete in a proper way, then definitely the concrete may collapse and it won't get its ultimate strength for longer days. For minimum of 28 days, we need to cure any component or any kind of things in structure. And especially about 0.23 for hydration and water or cement ratio, 0.15 for filling of voids for gels. In other words, water cement ratio of about 0.38. So that water cement ratio is also completely based upon the hydration as well as heat of hydration. So to make chemical reaction between the concrete, not the concrete, cement and water, we require some amount of water which is to be required to get the bonding. So, and one more thing is, few amount of water will be evaporated because of that heat which is evolving from the reaction between the cement and water, and because of that particular thing also, there is a lot of amount of water will be evaporated. So the curing method is not a single process for each and every environmental conditions. And there are about temperatures are of about minus degree centigrades are also different are available in nowadays. Even about 60-degree temperatures are also been happening in few places, and for that basically we have water curing, membrane curing, and application of heat and miscellaneous things are also been there. So using environmental conditions, we can use a better one for the curing. In general, water curing is the general thing that which we are using for curing technique. So this is about curing. Next one is finishing. This is the final thing which we need to get after the curing process. After 28 days and erection of every shutterings or uh, wooden kind of materials to support the fresh concrete, and after getting it, we need to finish the things, which is it should be in a looking good manner, and it should be in a proper way. So that's why finishing is also moreover most probable thing. So that finishers are also some equipments, by using some equipments or using manpower also, we are getting that finishings also. So such finishers may be grouped as under formwork finishers, or it is a formwork finishers. So formwork means already we know that that is using shutterings and everything we can finish the things, or surface treatments, especially for slabs, and over the slab we need to get a proper surfacing. So for that definitely we need to use some surface finishers. Using that surface finishers only we may get a proper cleaned or smoothened surfaces, or applied finishers, which is after laying the concrete by using cement mortar or using some coloring components. And thank you for watching.